Welcome to the Comedy Quiz Podcast. Two comedians go tete-a-tete in a game of fact or fiction. And now let's welcome the biggest tet of them all, Quizmaster David Shore.
Thank you, Shula Cowan. I've definitely been called worse. Welcome, everybody, to the Comedy Quiz, Fact or Fiction, where it's Couples Week. Yeah, we have a couple on the show. Let's meet them. He is an award-winning improviser, actor, writer, and director, an alumni of the Second City main stage. He's appeared in the film and TV shows Suicide Squad, Supergirl, Carter, and Netflix's upcoming Painkiller. Please welcome to the show, Matt Baram.
Well, hello there. Wow. What a pleasure. Wow, this is happening.
This is happening. And she is an award-winning improviser, actor, writer, producer, and director, an alumna of the Second City main stage. She starred for 8 seasons in the hit CBC comedy Mr. D and in Disney's Zombies 1, 2, and 3. And she is the creator-host of the Firecracker Department podcast. Please say hello to Naomi Snieckus. Hello, Naomi.
Hello, David Shore. And it's Mark, is it?
It's Matt.
Work on that.
The key to a happy marriage is knowing each other's names.
Is it? Or spicing it up and I don't know who you are?
I should put it on the towels.
The key to a good marriage, monogrammed everything.
I mean,
yeah, it hasn't helped because she just goes to Mark. Okay.
Okay. All right. So the way the comedy quiz works is I'm going to read a statement, and then Matt and Naomi will have to decide if that statement is fact or fiction. Please feel free to play along at home. Our main topic today is movie casting.
Okay.
Movie casting.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
I was worried that you were going to do sports, and then I was like, I'm out.
You two are both accomplished actors. Have you ever been offered a role that you turned down and regretted is a word. Regretted later?
I have never turned down anything.
We'll
ever.
say yes to absolutely anything.
Everything.
We're the Samuel L. Jacksons as a couple. We
have auditioned for the same part before, and Matt booked it, and I didn't.
Oh yeah.
What part was that? That's very
it's ongoing, right? It's the subway voice.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. A voiceover makes sense.
Yeah,
As
I'm
a
more
voice.
of a sandwich voice.
Yeah, when people hear your voice, people go, sandwich.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when
Makes
you're
sense.
more of a soup.
Mm-hmm. Thank
I
you.
can buy a soup
Interesting.
from you, but I wouldn't trust you with the sandwich to save my life.
Good to know. Good to know. Anyways, let's play.
Okay.
All right, here's the first statement. You ready?
Yes.
In the film 4 Weddings and a Funeral, Academy Award-winning actress Marissa Tomei turned down the role of Carrie, which ended up being played by Andie MacDowell. Fact or fiction? Naomi, why don't we start with you?
Now, I loved that movie. I loved all of the weddings, and I loved the funeral. Everything.
You enjoyed the funeral.
It was so beautiful. Remember, he read that poem, "Clang the Bell." No, Silent the Bell. That's
Simon Cowell.
Oh my God,
Or
it was
Callow.
so beautiful.
Simon Callow, not the
Simon
guy
Cowell.
from America's Got Talent.
No,
That'd be a different funeral. Yeah.
I now you're saying that Marissa Tomei was originally.
You remember Marissa Tomei, right?
She's fantastic. I mean, I just don't imagine anybody. Gosh, wasn't crazy about Andie MacDowell.
You don't
Between you and me,
everyone's going to know.
I wasn't crazy about it. So I'm going to say that is fact, and
Okay,
I
Naomi
would
says
love to
fact.
see a remake.
A remake? Okay, what's a remake? Matt, what do you think? Fact or fiction?
You know what?
Voice is very high.
Oh, sorry. I
Still.
feel like Andie MacDowell was so popular at the time that this movie was made.
Okay.
That they would probably even built this film around her. While Marissa Tomei, she was so young. I think she would be too young at the time. That's a different generation.
Yeah,
I
I don't know. It's
think. I'm gonna, you know what? And her biological clock wasn't even ticking yet, and that's a reference to Uncle Vinny. So, which is what she won the
Wow.
Oscar for.
You're doing
did.
some great extra fact in here. You're a fact.
I know
plus.
other facts.
Mhm.
I'm trying to hedge my bets that if I get these other facts correct, this will also be right. But I'm going to say fiction, not just to be differential,
Or
just because I think fact is true. No,
All right.
fiction is true.
Okay, so Matt says it is fiction. Naomi says it is a fact.
yes.
And it is...
It's a fact.
Oh!
Wait.
love to see Marissa Tomei.
That's right. It is a fact. Tomei was offered the role, but her grandfather was sick and she didn't want to travel to England. So there you go.
Oh, I love her even more. She's
There you go.
she's one of those actors that are just so vulnerable.
Okay, could I just say that
Mhm.
this is going to sound really,
Oh, don't say it then.
really awful
Then don't say
and
it.
mean, but I hope her grandfather died then,
That's not
because
very great.
like,
That's
can you imagine
horrible.
turning down such a? Well, I mean, that's an iconic movie, and then she goes back, and he's like, it's fine.
But you know what?
I'm okay.
But regardless, she had extra time with her grandpa.
That is true, and that's what's.
I'm going to move us on to the next.
Okay. I mean, we can
Statement.
talk forever about 4 weddings and a funeral.
Yeah, well, we're sticking with it. We're sticking with 4 Weddings and a Funeral. Tomei was offered the role originally to replace actress Elizabeth Shue, who was offered the part, but Shue refused to lower her asking price for the low-budget film. Fact or fiction? Matt, let's start with you this time.
Well, Elizabeth Shue would have already done Karate Kid. I don't know. Was she in Karate Kid?
You just took that out
She
of
was,
the
yeah.
Yeah,
She was in
I would.
Karate Kid.
I would think she's like a big box office
Yeah.
star at
Yeah.
that point.
Uh-huh.
She was taking over shoe business.
Okay.
Oh my god, that's
A
terrible.
pun I liked. A
She
pun I
eliminated-
liked. It's rare.
Yeah.
It's Matt. It's rare when I laugh at a pun. Let me just say
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that was-
Don't encourage him.
But because I have no idea what the answer is, I feel
I think your
like
instincts are right, though.
is to go. Yeah, this sounds like it could be
That
possible.
she turned it down.
And she just, you know what? I think she had a bit of a history of being very financially focused
Why do you say that?
don't
You
know. I have no
reason
basis
to say that.
for it. I'm going to say, you know what, David?
Mhm.
I'm going to say this is true.
Okay, so Matt says it's true. Naomi, what do you think? Fact or
A
fiction?
fact. That was a fact.
I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna say it's fiction, and I'll tell you why. Because I don't think anybody would turn down working with that cutie.
Well, Marissa Tomei did.
Because her grandfather was dying. Now.
Oh, right.
With
We don't know that. We don't know that.
He wasn't well.
Right.
So I think like anybody. Gosh, I'm gapping on his name. Who played the lead?
Hugh
Grant.
Hugh Grant.
Hugh
I don't
Grant?
think anybody would turn down working with Hugh Grant at the time because he was just a dreamboat. So I'm going to say fiction.
Oh wait, so you're gonna say it's fiction, and Matt says it's a fact.
Yeah.
It is.
It's fiction.
It's
See?
fiction. Naomi takes a 2-0 lead. It is fiction. She was never involved in the film, but Addie McDowell did take a significant pay cut and took points instead of her usual fee. And due to the great success of the film, she earned somewhere between $2 to $3 million in the back end. Whereas Hugh Grant, who was not a big star at the time, this is the film that made him a big star, his agents demanded an extra £5,000, which was problematic apparently. But in the end, he received £40,000 for the film. So Addie
Whoa.
McDowell is very shrewd.
That's 10 grand wedding.
That's 10 grand a wedding. Mm-hmm.
10 grand a wedding. It's true. All right, let's move on. Woody Harrelson turned down the lead role in Cameron Crowe's film Jerry Maguire because he believed no one would care about a film about an agent. Fact or fiction? Naomi, why don't we start with you?
Okay, look. Everybody cares about their agent, and they.
You don't have to suck up to your agent through this podcast.
If you're listening, Michael, just any call me, or just let me know how those callbacks are coming in. I think that. Gosh, I mean, that movie was made because of that guy in it,
Do you remember who the guy is?
Tom Cruise.
Okay.
But I don't think that movie was any great shakes. I don't think until like Tom Cruise put it on the map. So I will say that Woody Harrelson, that is fact. That is a fact.
Okay, it's a fact, not just a fact. Matt, what do you think? Is it a fact or fiction?
Well, that is an odd reason to turn down a movie, to have qualms about the plot. Because isn't it the actor's job to make it something? And I think there's more to the script than just being an agent. There's a good character there.
But think about the time invested. You can't just be like, oh, I'll do a movie here, willy-nilly. Like, it's the time.
We're talking about Woody Harrelson, who at the time would not have turned down a major motion picture.
He was a Cheers star.
I'm gonna say, yeah, but Shelley Long was trying to transition into movies. I think they all were. I'm gonna say no, I don't think he turned it down. I'm gonna say that's fiction. Show me the answer.
Oh, I love what you did there. I love what you did there.
Okay. Well, Naomi says it's a fact.
Yes.
Matt says it's fiction.
It's a fact.
Oh,
Fact.
You're
Yeah.
killing it.
It is a fact.
no,
Harrelson
Harrelson
told the film's producer, James L. Brooks, this is a quote, "Nobody is going to give a shit about an agent." So, there you
Whoa.
go.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Michael,
So
if you're
he turned that
listening,
down.
that does not apply for me.
By the way, interesting sideline here. My grandfather was offered the first McDonald's franchise
That's right.
in Western Canada.
And
That
what-
is
Is that true?
That's a fact. And what did he turn it down?
Because he said, "Who would eat that much hamburger?"
That's
Who wants to
hilarious.
eat that much hamburger?
It's different
finger on the
times.
pulse.
Different time. Sticking with Cameron Crowe films, Leonardo DiCaprio was originally cast to play the budding rock star Russell Hammond in Crowe's Almost Famous. Fact or fiction? Matt, why don't we start with you this time?
Wow.
This one's
He
tough.
was sorry, David. He was cast in it, and something happened. Almost cast.
He was originally cast, but he didn't do the part.
Almost cast and almost famous is what you're suggesting.
It's a
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
an almost times 2.
There's a lot of almosts in there,
Mhm.
which makes it sound fishy.
Okay.
Because I think that's interesting. Cameron Crowe. Do we remember who it was?
yeah, it's that he was so good.
Uh-huh.
Billy, how do you pronounce his last name? Crudup? Billy Crudup?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Billy Crudup. Oh, he was
Billy
good.
Crudup.
He was so
excellent.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that kind of feels like a wild choice to have in your movie. Like, why would you go right to Billy Crudup when you could
'Cause
have
he was-
Leonardo DiCaprio?
He was a genius. He really it's amazing in that role.
He was amazing. That's a weird thing. What was their relationship?
You know what? Let's just get an answer at the end of the day.
I'm not saying it's true.
Okay, so Matt is saying that that's a fact. Naomi, what do you think?
Okay, let me just make sure, just to follow up, because there's been a lot of chit chatter from my partner, and it's
Matt. It's Matt's
Mark Leonardo DiCaprio turned it down. Is that what you're saying? That's what we're talking about here.
He was offered the part, he had the role, but he didn't end up doing it.
No, I don't see him in that role. I don't see him. I'm going to say that's fiction.
Are we just disagreeing because that's just how we always are?
But I'm winning, so let's
Oh.
just.
Maybe you're just
All right. Okay, so Naomi says it's fiction.
Yes.
Matt says it's a fact.
Yeah.
Let's find out what it is.
It's fiction.
Oh, yeah, the streak continues. Leonardo DiCaprio was never involved in the film, as far as I know, but Brad Pitt did audition for and almost had the part, but then him and Crowe both realized he wasn't right for it. So Crowe moved on.
Wow.
So there
What?
you
It's
go.
true.
He's not right for things?
Apparently.
He's right for everything.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can you
apparently
imagine
not that
him
one.
in something like, I don't know, what's that? You're going to edit this part out because I'm gapping on all the names. Okay, never mind. Move on.
It's okay.
This is what puzzles me that she could be this good at this game and doesn't have a single reference for Brad Pitt.
Can you imagine, what's that Jeffrey Rush movie?
Jeffrey
Oh.
Rush.
Shine. Can you imagine
Shine?
Brad Pitt in Shine? No,
Oh,
he's not good
You're
for
right.
everything.
He's not good for that. No.
Yeah, he's not Australian. And let's move on to the final question for this round. In the 1999 film Wild Wild West, the role of Rita Escobar was played by Salma Hayek, but it was originally offered to Jennifer Lopez, who had to pull out of the film due to a scheduling conflict. Fact or fiction? Naomi, what do you think?
Fact. Final
Oh, yeah.
answer.
Quick.
Look, I'm getting right to it now.
Yeah, you didn't have any time. You just know this.
It just feels like it was not Jennifer Lopez's time.
Okay. Wild Wild West.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt, what do you think? Fact or fiction?
Well, I'm thinking there is precedent for rap and hip hop in that movie.
Really?
There's a Will Smith in that
Will
movie.
Smith is in that movie. He's one of the main stars.
The name that should not.
So I could see them
mentioned.
wanting to throw a female counterpart in that same. Yes, I'm going to say true as well.
Oh, we're on the same page?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
kinda
That's
fun.
weird that I'm doing. Is that weird?
I think
that
you're
I'm
doing that because I'm winning. So you're like, whatever she says, I'm going to do the
What
same.
did you say, Matt? You said it's fiction. I do want to say Naomi's Will Smith references because we are recording 2 days after the Oscars, but this will air air well after the Oscars.
Okay,
So
but
if people are
that
thinking
story
that
of
was a
Will
weird
Smith
thing,
will not go away. So
no, it won't. But let's move on because we don't want to talk about it here.
absolutely.
Okay. So Matt, you're saying it's a fact as well?
I think it's a fact. It sounds like a fact.
Hey,
Okay,
those are my coattails you're on, Maddie.
Okay. So we're both saying it's a fact. Let's see what it is.
It's fiction.
So the strategy of just copying you isn't working.
Yeah. All right. So
Okay, this is educational.
yes, it is. And at the end of round 1, Naomi is leading by a commanding 4-0 lead. Matt has a lot to make up in the second half. But before we get to the speed round of the game, at the top of the show, Naomi, I mentioned the Firecracker Department podcast, which is a podcast you do, but it's turned into something much bigger since you started. Why don't you tell us about it?
Yeah, so we actually are celebrating our 5 years of podcasting this year. And it started as a podcast, as you said. Thanks.
You got me
Thanks,
hitting
Judy.
you for that. Yeah.
And then it quickly became like a community. So now we have a bunch of different departments under the umbrella of Firecracker Department. We have a writing department, a social justice department, a mentorship department, a wellness department. And everybody's got their own lane and their own thing that they're working on. So it's kind of like I always envision it like it's an amusement park and everybody's got their own rides and they're all like, you want to go faster? And then Andy's like, yes. So it's really fun. We've got a great team of people pushing this whole journey towards change. Like I think we're making a change with the way we are working as a team.
And where can people find out about it?
Unfortunately, we do not have a website. Just kidding.
Okay.
We absolutely do. Firecrackerdepartment.com for all your firecracker needs. And you can join in. There's like brunch. There's a writing group that meets once a week. If you're feeling stuck creatively, it's a good group to give you a nudge towards creative action.
And Matt, you're in the upcoming Netflix show Painkiller with Matthew Broderick. What was it like working with him?
Yeah. Thanks. No, you knew this. It's amazing that I grew up being a huge fan of Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
He was just such a different role for him, playing one of the Sackler brothers of Purdue, creating OxyContin.
Oh wow!
It's such a sad story.
I heard you all did Oxy on set.
Well, we had to.
It's a method film.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously.
Whoa.
There's something in that for a joke.
There's something definitely there. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It was wonderful, because Peter Berg directed it, Friday Night Lights guy. So either a genius or a lunatic. So we often would be prepared to come in for a scene and then he would just decide to do something completely different and turn it into like a music video that day. Really
so fun.
I can't wait for it to come out. I also wouldn't be surprised if I'm completely cut out of it. But it's going to be great no matter what.
All right, so keep your eyes out for Painkiller on Netflix.
I will.
Let's move on to the speed round. Now, in this round, I'll be making a series of statements to one contestant at a time. Matt, since you are behind, you get to pick. No problem.
Nice way of putting it.
He gently said, "You're the loser," is what he wanted to say, but he said in the behind.
Yeah, Matt, right now your position is...
Oh, no.
Yeah, but Matt, since you are behind, you get to choose between our two speed round topics, which are the Pony Express and WD-40.
Fun.
Okay, well, the Pony Express, that's a lot of history. I'm gonna go with the lubricant.
Star Wars.
WD-40. All right. So these are all questions just for you, Matt. Okay.
Thank you.
So here we go. WD-40.
No, that's C-3PO. She said Star Wars.
No, it's not. Yeah. He could probably use WD-40, but he's not. It's not his name.
Right. Squeaky.
Yeah. All right, let's start. The WD-40 fan club has over 100,000 members. Fact or fiction?
For a lubricant to have a fan club.
Speed round.
Fact.
It is indeed a fact, Matt.
Yes!
You're on the board, Matt.
Better when I don't think it through.
Yeah. It's lights.
All right, let's and we're still in the category of WD-40. If hooked up properly, a regular can of WD-40 can fuel a propane tank burner for 7 minutes. Fact or fiction?
Speed round.
Propane tank burner. There's no size. I'm going to say no. False.
You're saying fiction. All right. And you are correct. Once again, Matt, you're on a roll. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Let's move on to the third question. Police once used WD-40 to grease up a naked burglar who was stuck in an air vent. Fact or fiction?
That's how I would do it. Fact.
Fact. You are once again correct, Matt. You're on a roll.
Whoa.
Okay. All right. Here we go, Matt. Another
Butter. I would
question.
have tried butter too.
Yeah,
by the
but
way.
then
That would
you'd
have
be
been my
like,
second
does
choice.
anybody have any toast? And then you'd be caught.
Yeah.
You would be caught, yeah. A bus driver in Asia once used WD-40 to remove a python snake that had coiled itself into the undercarriage of his bus. Fact or fiction?
You know, I once had something coiled up in my undercarriage.
Okay.
Oh, let's say false.
Fiction.
You're gonna say
Fiction.
fiction. I'm sorry, Matt. That is indeed a fact.
Okay.
It's okay.
All
You're
right.
still doing great. You're still doing great.
All right. Here's your last question, Matt. WD-40 cures arthritis. Fact or fiction?
There's no cure for arthritis. Fiction.
You are 100% right, Matt. There is no cure for arthritis. That is fiction. It is also an urban legend that WD-40 will cure arthritis, and the good people at WD-40 recommend do not try that, according to their website. All right, Naomi, your questions are all about the Pony Express.
I love the Pony Express.
You don't know
I
what
have
it
no
is.
idea what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Okay.
That's okay. You know what you know what the Pony Express is. Okay.
I'm with you.
So here we go. Here's your first question. Pony Express riders couldn't weigh more than 125 pounds. Fact or fiction?
Fact, because they're so tiny, those ponies. You can't have heavy people.
Your logic is wrong, but you are 100% correct. It is a fact. It is a fact. Yeah, let's move on to your next question. The outbreak of the U.S. Civil War brought an end to the Pony Express. Fact or fiction?
Outbreak of you. On my tombstone, you will see Naomi Snieckus, lover of history.
I thought you wanted to be cremated.
You're right.
Oh.
This is a different show that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Can you please repeat the question?
Oh.
Yeah. The outbreak of the U.S. Civil War brought an end to the Pony Express. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
No.
Yeah, because the ponies would carry disease.
It's fiction. So
Oh,
that is incorrect.
That's when they really needed them.
Okay, this is not going great for me.
It's okay. Here's your next question. Before its demise, the Pony Express earned a profit of over $300,000. Fact or fiction?
Gosh, I don't even know how to find logic in there.
Do you even remember the question?
I'm gonna say,
Do you know the two things you have to say? Either
I know. I'm
fact
getting
or
all
fiction?
sweaty. I
Oh,
don't
you are,
even.
sorry. Flop sweat.
It's not flop sweats, but just like glowing. I would say that's what do you think, Maddie?
I don't know.
But just help me a little bit.
Fact.
Fiction.
Oh, so you went against Matt's choice, which is the right choice. It is, in fact, a fiction. It is fiction. Pony Express lost over $200,000 in its day. And that's in those like 1840 whatever money. It was old-timey money.
Wow.
It's a lot of money.
You
Okay.
went like opposite George.
I
on
had
me.
to.
You pulled a George Costanza. That was smart.
I tell
Naomi,
you,
here is your last question in the category of the Pony Express. Buffalo Bill Cody claimed to be a Pony Express rider, but likely wasn't. Fact or fiction?
Well, that's an interesting way of asking a question because it's tricky. You kind of went one direction, and I'm going to say I don't think Bill rode on the Pony Express.
So what is that? A fact or fiction? And only you can come up with this ads. Don't help her.
Well, I think. Well, I don't. It's fiction. Wait, it was sort of like a
Double negative.
double negative in there.
I'll give you the question again. And by the way, this isn't your last question. I was mistaken. There's one more
Oh.
after this.
Okay.
Buffalo Bill Cody claimed he was a Pony Express rider, but that probably was not true. So he said he was a rider,
Yeah.
but he was probably lying. Is that a fact or fiction that he was lying?
Oh, yes, that's a fact, sir.
Naomi Snieckus, you are correct. That is a fact. Buffalo Bill Cody
You
lied
have to with your gut, man.
about being in the Pony Express. And your final question.
Yeah.
The Pony Express delivered mail 4 times faster than mail delivered by Stagecoach. Fact or fiction?
That's a fact because If I know one thing, stagecoaches slow you down.
Huh. Yeah.
Well, that might be true.
Stagecoaches.
Yeah. That question is fiction, Naomi.
Oh.
There. It would take 25 days for mail by stage and 10 days for mail by the Pony Express. It was 2.5 times faster, not 4 times.
So did you get it right?
Faster.
Oh.
She got it wrong.
Wrong.
She got it wrong that time. And let's see.
That must feel terrible.
Okay, all right.
It must feel terrible because guess what, Naomi? You are the winner.
Oh!
Yeah, Toby is the winner.
Yay!
Yeah, by a score of 8-4. Matt, that was a nice comeback there. Oh, sorry, 7-4. That was a nice comeback there. Or maybe it was 8-4. I forgot to keep track of the last.
You know what? I think people at home are keeping track. We'll get mail.
That's true. We probably will get mail.
By the Pony Express.
Yes, probably by the Pony Express. And guess what, everybody? That is the end of our show.
Yay!
Yeah, I'd like to thank our contestants, Matt Baram and Naomi Snieckus. Check out their podcast, the Baram Snieckus Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. That's where you can find that. If you like today's episode of the Comedy Quiz, please give us a review and hit subscribe. You can follow us on Instagram at Comedy Quiz Pod. My name is David Shore. On behalf of Shuli Cowan and myself, I'd like to thank you for listening. Bye, everybody.
Bye! Thanks, David Shore.
I think it was 7-4.
I think it was 9-3.
Oh.
We'll get mail, for sure.
Yeah.
A myriad of letters coming in.